Hi guys, it is Dani and welcome to this morning's update. So I trust and hope you're doing amazing. And these two disturbances that are being watched for development are now designated as Invest. So we've got Invest 93L, that's the one in red, and Invest 94L, that's the one in orange. So an Invest is essentially an area that is being closely monitored for development. So that's what's going on with both of these systems. Pretty likely that at least one of them will become our next named storm. But regardless, 94L is headed into the Caribbean. If you're in parts of the Lesser Antilles, you may be experiencing some heavy rain and thunderstorms. So let me know what's been going on for you. And there is still that flood threat that is going to be persistent throughout today and even into tomorrow as well. So let's go into the details. Okay, so as we look at these satellite imagery here, we've got Major Hurricane Gabrielle still out there. No major changes with it. It is going to soon start its weakening trend. So here we are seeing those other two systems, and 94L is definitely producing a lot of showers and thunderstorms. Let's zoom in a bit more to both of these systems here so we can see that both of them are producing some substantial activity. So a lot of that rain and thunderstorm activity moving in right now to the Lesser Antilles, as I mentioned, especially from around Antigua southward through St. Lucia thereabouts. So there's a lot of moisture right now, even some scattered showers across Barbados. So this is a very influential tropical wave, a strong tropical wave both of them are. Now, looking further west, we can see that elsewhere there's not much going on, but towards Central America, for especially Belize, it's very active. Lots of heavy rain and thunderstorms this morning, possibly some flooding being induced. So if you're being affected, please stay safe and do not take any unnecessary risks. So as we talk a bit more about our disturbances, so for 93L, here we can see that it still has that high 80% formation chance. So as we're going to be heading into the rest of the week, we may see the system acquire some tropical characteristics to be considered as such a tropical cyclone. We'll see how strong it gets. Conditions are not the most favorable within the vicinity of it right now. There is some lingering dry air, so we'll see what happens. And then 94L, that is the tropical wave entering the Caribbean right now. So still that 50% formation chance, and it's going to bring all of this rain with it up to the west-northwest. So the next areas that will also feel those impacts would be Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands as we head into tomorrow. So again, flood triggering rainfall. And even with some of those stronger thunderstorms, there could be those instances of those very strong winds, and that may result in some damaged trees, and it may even cause some power outages. That's going to be possible. And these conditions that will likely be experienced may be very reminiscent of that of a tropical storm. So that's what we have going on right now, guys. A very disorganized system. It's just a tropical wave, but it can unleash those dangerous impacts. Now, as we look at this graphic here, so we're looking at what our models have to show in terms of the intensity guidance for both systems. So starting out with 93L, we can see that imminent formation is not expected by our models, but as we're going to be headed into the next, say, 4 to 5 days, that's when the available models are showing that we could see it actually acquire tropical storm status, and it may subsequently strengthen. As for 94L, we can see here that it's a similar story. Imminent formation not expected, but maybe later this week, it may actually be in an environment that's conducive enough to allow for it to become our next named storm. So we'll see what eventually happens. And also as time goes by, we'll get more and more model availability. We'll get more data on these systems. So I'll surely be providing you with just that. And as I highlighted yesterday, the sea surface temperatures are very warm. Looking at it here, we can see 29, 30 degrees Celsius right now in and around the Caribbean. So these systems will not have a hard time in terms of all of that widespread or wide scale evaporation, but other conditions have to be favorable to allow for actual development to take place. So, gonna keep track, guys, but the main takeaway here is that there's likely those flooding rains ongoing in parts of the Lesser Antilles. That's gonna be the story throughout today. And then other areas, the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and maybe the vicinity of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos will also experience that rain surge. So I'm going to keep track of this and keep you posted as necessary. So that's what I wanted to bring to your attention today. And I do hope you found this video to be informative. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'll get to you when I can. And remember to always be weatherwise.